There is £250,000 up for grabs this weekend in Super 6 and a £10,000 bonus for November's best player at the end of the month as well. To play for free, scan the QR code on your screen, head to the app or the website and get your entries in before 3 p.m. tomorrow. Very best of luck to you. Well, the Championship is our focus tonight. Spirits high among the Watford fans since the return of Javi Gracia, and an upturn in results as well for Bristol City, hoping to end a tough week with a win. Kick-off is next. Nearly time for kick-off in our Friday night action under the lights at Vicarage Road. Watford against Bristol City. Tim and Ashley looking forward to it with me. Tim, final game before the international break. I suppose neither side wants to go in to a 2-week break feeling regrets, do they? No,
I fancy Watford at home in front of their fans tonight. I think Gracia's had an impact on them. Bristol are in a real bad run of form. They can't cope with the injuries what they have at the moment. So I can see that rhythm repeating itself tonight. I think it might be losers' night tonight, and he can show us a little bit of magic for this big crowd at Vicarage Road.
Yeah, they're up for it, that's for sure. As are we. Looking forward to this one. More from Tim and from Ashley to come at half-time, but it is time to hand to your commentary team now at Vicarage Road. It's a very good evening to Chris Owellamo and Daniel Mann.
Yes, good evening to you, Jules, and good evening, everybody. Well, aren't the Hornets happy to be home? It's one of the great dichotomies of this season's Championship. A home record that is amongst the very best, and an away record that is comfortably the worst. For Bristol City, well, they have come into this season hoping very much to upset the expected order, although that has certainly already happened. Bristol City on a mission, as Gerhard Struber says, to be the first hunter behind that group, but the reality is they've been more in the business of hunting fit players in the last few weeks, and it's been quite a push to put out a full 20-man squad this evening. The distinctive strains of Z-Cars. On what is a poignant occasion, this weekend of remembrance. Representatives of the Armed Forces, the Royal British Legion here. Well, let's get a check on the all-important team news. And Javi Gracia has made 6 changes tonight. That's the most he's made since his return. He's also switched to a back 3. Max Alleyne gets an opportunity, having been hit badly by the switch to a 4. Kevin Kemen is back and Jeremy Petrie into at wing-back. Hector Cipriano has suffered an ankle injury since Tuesday's draw at Ipswich. He's the man who gives the platform to others in midfield. Kiembe goes in there. Kerem Gard and Iran Kunda come into the attack. Well, really, it's a case of who's left for Gerhard Struber and Bristol City. Neto Borges and Mark Sykes added their names to the already lengthy injury roll call in midweek against Blackburn, when they actually finished the game with 10 players, having utilised all their substitution windows before Sykes' withdrawal. The front 5 is the same one that ended the game. Twaina Mameti, usually part of the front line in midfield. Mayulu and Armstrong up top. Zach Viner from midfield to his more regular defensive role. Emil Rees only on the bench, still being carefully managed. But with 2 goalkeepers there, and some best known to connoisseurs of development football, they really are stretching the limits. And Rita Taylor, wife of the legendary Graham, here to assist with the commemorations at Vicarage Road. Second home. As well as members of the Armed Forces, the family of Captain Thomas Sawyer here in number. Thomas killed in action in Afghanistan 16 years ago, forever memorialised, having a street adjacent to the stadium named in his honour.
He is accompanied by one of the legendary presidents of the Watford region, as well as the Saturdays, military personnel representing all three of the national forces, and people player Matthew Kenny. We're also delighted to be joined by Richard Taylor, one of our 47 managers, Graham Taylor only, which also was part of our work at Man Party. The excellent is briefly organizers a very inclusive opportunity to show respect for those who fell while preserving the freedoms we enjoy today. Following the reading of the exhortation, the last toast will be sounded, and then we will observe a minute silence, which will end upon the referee's whistle. Sam Hall will now read the exhortation.
They shall not grow as we that left grow. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. And going down the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them.
The last post performed by Matthew Kenny, a season ticket holder in the Rookery here at Vicarage Road. Well, a buoyant atmosphere and a buoyant bowler for Watford, Chris.
Yeah, well, I think with both formations, I think there's a responsibility on the fullbacks to influence the game in a positive way. And this man, he's been excellent as of late. It's all about end product. Me being a striker, it's about the service, the deliveries coming into the box, and he's been excellent. So direct and always an outlet, always wants the ball. Fantastic talent.
Well, we've certainly got the focus on the wing-backs tonight with Ross McCrory.
And this is going to be a battle, a duel I'm very much looking forward to. Ross McCrory, like for like. He's got that energy, he's got that running power, but it's end product as well. Delivery coming into the box, he steps up, he brings goals to the game. He has an understanding of positioning. Defensively, he does his duties, but it's how he can influence the game in a positive way.
Well, he doesn't have the luxury of his opposite number tonight, really. The room for rotation is distinctly limited for Gerhard Struber, but battling well in this most open of championship campaigns. And he's come back through the ever-open managerial door here at Vicarage Road. Took Watford to their greatest achievement since the halcyon days of Graham Taylor in his first spell. He knows how the club works and how it doesn't. So Bristol City in their change strip of the white shirts and A style that brings back fond memories, I'm sure, for those of a certain vintage amongst the Bristol City supporters. 50 years since their last promotion to the top flight, and it's still on the agenda, despite all the injury troubles. McCrory and Bowler together immediately. And Kevin away. And it is extraordinary, really, the level to which Javi Gracia has rotated his team. It's another 6 changes here this evening. He's certainly getting to know all about his squad quickly.
Yes, I think it's a squad game, isn't it? I think he's using his players, he's keeping it competitive, and what you say, and they're delivering for him as well.
It's a good performance at Ipswich in midweek, earning a draw. Good performance at Coventry against the leaders as well. Despite the scoreline, it is a game that might have turned in a different direction at various points. So here come Bristol City, looking to make their first major inroads. Mehmeti involved with Mayulu, and now Twine, who can certainly hit him. And he's hit that one not too far wide. He's suggesting strongly it got a little bit of help on its way.
Yeah, well, it's excellent from Bristol City. Really capitalised on that mistake from Petrie. Mehmeti, you know what you're going to get. He's driving, he's direct. Twine always wants the ball. One thing in mind, can he get that shot away?
Well, it's an interesting one because it's not a Bristol City midfield that has a particularly strong defensive edge, but it might be argued that Watford lack a bit of that tonight, so it should make for a very interesting game. Here's Bowler and McCrory in an early significant duel.
Yeah, you're spot on. I think Adam Randall has a massive evening ahead of him. He has to be switched on, he has to be communicating all the while, asking Mehmeti, Twine to come in and support whenever they can.
There's Bowler getting in another of those crosses, which he's already become so noted for this season. There's a header Dickey on the end of it, but a foul.
And as soon as you know Bowler, Petrie, you have the ball, you're making that movement, you're gambling across the defender because you know that quality's coming in the box.
Well, no problems with their goalkeepers, Bristol City, so much so that they're able to have 2 seniors on the bench. Indeed, they had the luxury of sending one, Joe Lumley, who played in the Premier League last season, up to Sheffield Wednesday to plug their gap. This is Mehmeti, but cut off by Bowler. McCrory, the intended recipient. We can talk about the legs that are completely absent for Bristol City. A few weary pairs in the starting lineup. Busy week. Pollock earning his team a free kick. Certainly at the present moment, the back three a little different to how we anticipated in its precise combination. We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, I think when it's Matty Pollock, he's a communicator, an absolute leader, isn't he? I think central makes sense.
A couple of sons of famous fathers, aren't they, in the back three?
If you just look how Bristol City have set up as well, that three, Twine, Randall, Mehmeti, sitting as a flat three at times, allowing obviously Watford to have that ball in that defensive unit.
Here. Here's Matty Pollock. Elaine. Bristol ball. Not particularly familiar with the cricket ground. Mark. Here is Kevin.
You see they're being stretched, Bristol City, but without the ball. Excellent distance between the lines, stepping up together, communicating all the while. You've got Armstrong, Mayula, just being composed, being disciplined.
This is Mayulu in that attack, starting a league game for the first time in 2025. He did start in the FA Cup back in January before he disappeared off to Sturm Graz on loan. Well, Bowler looking to make a burst here in behind, and they found him. The touch was right, and so is the finish. Well, pleasure and pain in one moment. He's opened his Watford account, and Route 1 paying handsome dividends.
When you look at this, when you look at the defensive line of Bristol City, when there's no pressure on the ball, Imran Louza, he has that eye, he can execute that pass. If you've got Whirling runners breaking the line to get in behind, look at the defensive line, there's no pressure on Louza. Look at that run, perfect, has to drop, look at the body shape, shoulders have to be open. It's an excellent touch, and then the finishing itself is outstanding. From start to finish, out, but defensively should be cut out. What a ball that is.
Well, it's a little piece of perfection from Louza, who showed real quarterback style there, didn't he? And Bowler, well, it's come at some cost. Well, he's a goal scorer and a creator, and he's demonstrated it in quite extraordinary fashion, but they gave him time to do it. Was there a Bristol City player within 5 yards of him?
Well, there has to be. You know, I think that's that information, communication. When you're looking at Twine, Mehmeti, can they talk? Can they force Armstrong forward? Can they force Mayulu forward? There has to be pressure. If there's not pressure, I understand that defensive line. When you look at this now, they have to be ready to run. You know, read the flight of the ball. It's an excellent, wonderful ball. The finish is brilliant. But I have to say, when you're looking at George Tanner there, he sees the danger. Open your shoulders, get ready to run towards your own goal.
Well, hopefully, given the nature of the injury, it shouldn't see him depart the scene. Well, it's quite the way to open the account. There'll be a little bit of reorganisation here for a moment, while we await Bowler's return.
Ball from VTech that goes up. My Pollock shouldn't. There has to be. You have to go and compete. Armstrong, go put your body in.
Well, Bowler back. Last able to say his thanks to Imran Louza for his contribution. True quarterback style, but direct, to say the very least. Kerem guard. Dumbia, there's plenty of presence in that Watford front line. And Solvik has to make his presence felt. Petri. Luza. Kayembe. Kevin will look to get Petri in behind. That's just asked too much of him.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this. You're looking at, even though Imran Louza prefers to play a 6, he's a 10, he's an 11, he's all over the place. So someone has to take responsibility. So I would actually sacrifice one and say, you know what, if it's Scott Twine, if it's Mehmet, just sit on him. Wherever he goes, follow, because he picks up fantastic little pockets and causes all sorts of problems.
Well, I think he just enjoys having the whole picture, rather than him being in any way a defensively minded player. That's why he likes the 6. But he'll certainly be an asset wherever Bowler involved once more. Well, it's all going swimmingly so far. I think there was a sense of regret at his departure, although it feels so long ago and so many have been through the door since, it's hard to remember, to be honest.
I think what he done for the football club was outstanding, and like you say, I think very all into the following season it was definitely the wrong decision, and a decision that the club regretted.
Being serenaded. Alain. Neat touch from Iran Kunda. He's a talent capable of producing special moments. Petri, break of the ball favoured him. And seen by Paul Tierney as a tangle of legs at worst. And Armstrong would have been, I think, a fair way offside.
Well, looking at that, I thought it was a foul, but I thought it started the contact outside the box. I'm looking at it, there's a tangle. I'm looking at Petrie, he steps so in the path, the running path. So I think the referee, Paul Tierney's probably got that one spot on.
Up against Hayden Roberts, who's going back out to the wing-back position, having had to become part of that back 3. His first start of the season against Blackburn. Suffered successive defeats. And for the first time this season. Alain with a little bit of looseness with Twine in his vicinity. And it was a road to nowhere for Sinclair Armstrong. Randall. McCrory. Twine. Roberts with a chance to venture forward. Mehmeti. And McCrory's arriving here with interest, but the flag up against him.
Yeah, that's the ball, that's the outlet. It's tight, but McCrory, he's in the position. Mehmeti has that quality. What I needed to see, though, was a little bit more urgency from Armstrong, the Yulu, to get that second phase, and look how tight that one is. But that is the outlet, because the defensive unit of Watford are so compact down the flanks.
Well, he's got to do an awful lot of running, Ross McCrory, and there aren't, at the moment, really, in the squad the massive availability of people to release the pressure from him. Some, and only he will know, I suppose, have maybe detected a touch of weariness of late. No weariness about Petrie. And he's got a corner. There were a few shouting because of the pop-up onto the arm of Aidan Roberts.
Yeah, but it's excellent from Petrie. Great little bit of quality. Powerful runner, so much athleticism there. And like you say, end product, this is what you want. Be direct. Make the defender have to defend. You know, moving them around. That end product, trying to get the cross in. Good block from Aidan Roberts in the end.
Some good targets here, and delivery, you would imagine, should be well taken care of. Fired through by Kayembe! And Vitek able to keep it up. I think it actually got a touch off Kevin in front of him as well.
Yeah, it's a fantastic save, isn't it? Excellent from Kayembe, just being alive to the second phase. Goal doesn't move, just make sure the contact, and it is, he gets a little touch. What a reaction save that is. Doesn't know a lot about it, but this little touch, yeah, fantastic there from Vitek.
All the better for that from a goalkeeper who doesn't lack confidence or a sense of direction, on loan from Manchester United, and he is on a mission to become their number one. Loser. Stayed in play. Randall, McCrory motoring, but Bowler with him. Iran Kunda able to secure it. Loser able to make purposeful strides. And Doumbia, another corner.
Yeah, Doumbia, you know, he's getting a lot of joy there. He's finding again Loser in that little pocket. Doumbia actually did more from him there. The quality that I know that he has, just take another touch. He's already decided he's going to take that shot on early. At your man, be direct, make something happen.
Oh, arriving late was Iran Kunda.
Well, he's read the flight of the ball fantastically well, unmarked as well. That's another one. Mehmeti has to take responsibility. Just the connection's just not right. Just make sure, keep your eyes open, put the ball back from where it came. That what just took his eye off the ball as well there.
Well, the opportunities are coming their way. Coventry and Preston have accrued more championship points at home than Watford, but they're the bearers of gifts here at the moment for Bristol City. McCrory, Tanner, McCrory again. Could take it with him ultimately. Good hassling by Twine, and Randall getting his foot in.
Much better. That's exactly what you want to do. Go and win those challenges, and then it's second balls. Twine, Randall, fantastic.
All ends with a free kick being conceded by Aidan Roberts. Well, the only thing wrong at the moment is the weather, as far as Javi Gracia is concerned. Touched by Dickey, who's clocking up a century of appearances for the club today. Kunda and Albola. Kayembe, Loser. Loser again. Alain. I suppose the rejig there maybe shouldn't be as surprising, given that it's the first time he started with a back three, so he's not necessarily going to go with the same configuration as the previous manager did.
No, not at all. Exactly. You look at the attributes of the players. Alain, obviously with that left foot, his distribution has to be a little bit better. You can see that he's not quite match sharp.
With the switch to the 4, he thought perhaps that his opportunities may only come in the full-back position. He did have a stint there against Blackburn where I don't think you could call it a roaring success necessarily. But he's definitely a player of great ability.
When you make so many changes and rotate, it's quite hard for the player to get into that groove and get that rhythm, and confidence is a massive thing.
Especially when you're still in the business of getting to know the place, never mind the team. Well known from Manchester City. Kevin forward towards Keremgard, who certainly let Dickie know he was there. Loser has managed to pull that one out of the cold November rain. Iran Kunda. McCrory. Well, Iran Kunda showing that he's full of defensive diligence.
Yeah, he's done ever so well, but he shouldn't get the opportunity. Tanner's done excellent. McCrory's made that running behind, but as soon as McCrory gets the ball, I need more from Mayulu. Look, running behind, ask that question. You've got so much room for that little quality ball down into the channel. But as soon as you don't make the run, then you're giving Iran Kunda a chance to come back and get the challenge in.
Yes, Mayulu's brother, Seni, very much a part of the firmament of Paris Saint-Germain these days. I don't think since Janssen Derrick we've had a direct connection between Bristol City and Paris Saint-Germain. Loser back on his feet after a spell on the floor. Randall. And that's Alain who wins it. Twine. Mehmeti. He's worked the opening for the shot, but Selvik will welcome it if that's all he has to deal with tonight.
Again, he just needs a little word there from Armstrong. Mehmeti, time he should be scanning anyway, the quality player that he is, knowing that he has time to take that one down there.
Mehmeti and Roberts converging well there on Petrie, and inglorious moment and the inevitable glare down at the turf from Egil Selvik. Loser. Twine. loser. Again, trying a similar ambitious pass. A recipe that's already worked. That certainly will. Twine for Armstrong. 2 up with him. Mayulu coming to the front.
But it's much better, isn't it? It's intent. Armstrong there. Times his run perfectly. Twine has the accuracy with the pass as well. I just think that as soon as Armstrong gets his head up, can he deliver? Can he put that defensive line under a little bit of pressure? Again, Mayula, I need more movement from him there. Break your neck to get in between the last defender and goalkeeper.
Kevin. A fixture of recent times here at Vicarage Road that's seen big scores for both teams. 6-0 victory for Watford a while back, and Bristol City not that long ago struck 4 here. 4-1 victory. Here is Armstrong and the flag following.
Yeah, but as soon as Bristol City start getting joy with this, you know, again, ask the question, look to stretch and get in behind. He goes just a little bit early, and it's a tight one as well, just as his shoulder leaning into that offside position there, but that's the ball. As soon as that defensive line of Watford drop, then the likes of Mehmeti, Twine got on the balls in those little pockets.
Extraordinary tale, isn't he, this young man? And in more than the odd flash, some extraordinary talent. Signed from Bayern Munich. Mehmeti on for Armstrong again, and suddenly Bristol City beginning to make inroads, and that was a big risk by Petrie and deemed to be right on the edge of the box.
Lucky man, isn't he? You think they're in right on the corner as well. Excellent from Armstrong, just taking the ball across the running path of Petrie. Can't do anything, and that little contact, you know what, it's so tight, isn't it, to be in a penalty kick. Paul Tierney, the official, fantastic position as well.
So he's into the notebook, and that, on the basis of the last few minutes, is a precarious place to be. Well, set pieces have not been defending them, that is a strong suit of Watford, although that's changed a little bit since the change of manager. It's not been quite as glaring an issue, but when Scott Twine's over a free kick, it certainly can be, and it absolutely is. He's wielded his wand again. Selvik couldn't get there, and Bristol City are level.
You know what you're going to get with Scott Twine. He's going to ask the question. Goalkeeper has to be ready. He should know the quality. I think the keeper has to do better. For me, get 2 contact on it. Make sure you keep it out your goal there, but hit the target. Ask the question to the goalkeeper. Scott never fails to deliver. Scott Twine, fantastic goal. Just look at the position of the goalkeeper there. For me, poor goalkeeping. Selvik, he's made some important saves as of late as well. It's an excellent free kick as well, with pace, the movement on the ball to that near post.
Well, Scott Twine's delight, but again, questions about Watford's goalkeeper conceding from a free kick. But Twine, different position, but when he's standing over a dead ball, the result is often the same. Well, hasn't that changed things? Bristol City firmly cast as underdogs tonight, despite their loftier level in the league table. They have found a way back to terms. An extra little spring in the collective step. Up to Armstrong again.
Yeah, he's done very well for me, Armstrong, tonight. Always wants the ball, can hold the ball up, strong with it as well. That running power in behind. Getting a lot of joy from that. The thing that confuses me, Dan, as well, we all know about Scott Twine. Do not give free kicks away, especially around the 18-yard box. Surely.
Mehmeti. Well, Bowler with an important intervention and interception. Armstrong, well, he crossed the line as far as the referee was concerned that time, but the more he's been involved in the game, the better for Bristol City it has been.
Yeah, in fairness, if that's not given, I don't think there'll be too many arguments as well. But that's the responsibility of the strikers, Miulu and Armstrong, just trying to get in the back of Kayembe and Loser, trying to force that error.
Ale. Kayembe. Put in there by McCrory. Here's Loser. Beer will try to spin inside. Stolen back by McCrory, and Aaron Kunda will be booked for that.
Yeah, it's lazy defending, isn't it, Aaron Kunda? You know what you're going to get from McCrory asking that question. Yeah, it's pure. He's got a lot, so far to go as well.
Twine, that'll be Solvix. But Mehmeti moving forward with a little greater sense of confidence. Well, they have proved to be a pretty resilient bunch, Bristol City, in the last season and a bit particularly. And their recovery powers, when going behind, particularly impressive. They overachieved in most eyes last season by forcing their way into the playoff pack, and that character was certainly one of the major ingredients that helped them achieve that. Aaron Kunda. Flipped by Bowler. It's Pollock.
Yeah, there's just an urgency, isn't there, about Bristol. On the front foot, anticipating, not reacting. Really putting pressure on, forcing the issue, and the quality at Watford's just kind of gone a little bit. That's when you've got to be composed. A little one round the corner from Aaron Kunda to Bowler. That's where Aaron Kunda should be, getting that second ball.
Kayembe with Twine. And goes favourably for Watford. Well, he won the free kick.
Yeah, he's done ever so well just getting across the running path. and the contact when you're running at that pace as well. And then look at the quality of that near post. Selvik should do better, in my opinion.
Well, Bowler set away, and it may yet work out. Dumbia, terrific block by Viner. We're certainly grateful he's back in the back line tonight for that alone.
Everything about it was excellent, wasn't it? I mean, Dumbia coming on to it, Bowler getting the ball across, Viner seeing the danger, throwing his body on the line.
He's had a little run in midfield of late. He's operated in all three of the back three positions as well. This is Twine. Real possibilities here, Mehmeti. Ultimately he'll get nothing for it. Roberts was flying forward outside him as well. They had a lot of numbers up there.
Yeah, good defending in the end by Caben, but excellent quality. Twine finding himself in that little pocket, driving at the heart of the defence. And it's the run from Armstrong that just opens up Mehmeti. You look at this one here, Dumbia, excellent block from Viner as well. Dumbia arriving at the right time. Goal doesn't move, just make sure the connection's right.
Yeah, they only move metaphorically in football. And that happens a lot. Here's Dumbia. Here probably more than anywhere else. This is Petri, loser, Kayembe. Being urged to shoot, and finally he does.
Again, manipulated the ball, just couldn't get out his feet. Connection was good. Wasn't going to trump VTech. Just there, that first touch, just let him down. Comfortable on that for the goalkeeper.
A strong response from Bristol City.
Yeah, it's an excellent response. You know, you go a goal down, you have to then come together, be compact, but they were brave. Ask that question in behind, and they earned the right to play the way that they want to play, and now they actually look the more threatening.
Armstrong made a promising run again, and now Twine is doing exactly that. He's got what he wanted. Bowler certainly seeing it differently.
Well, there's no need for Bowler to make that. He's not going anywhere. Just make sure he knows that you're there, get close enough, force the issue, try and get him out the pitch himself. There's no reason to come through the back.
Yeah, well, we need a good brief, because the evidence is damning. Well, heightened awareness, which should always be strong, of Scott Twine's capabilities over a dead ball. This time it's others who hope to be the direct beneficiary. Viner in amongst it, making new friends. It's Twine, and I think it came off Kerem guard, and Selvik had an opportunity to really bring the temperature down, and possibly should have taken it. I don't know.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree. I think Selvik position was good, worked his feet well, but come out, just come out with two hands there. I don't think there's any reason to punch it. He's come out, he's read the ball, he sees it, there's no danger. That's it, just take it in your hands, slow it down, be composed.
Because as it is, they've not got themselves up the pitch, and they're facing more pressure. Mehmeti taking this one. Mayulu to the D. Dickey right in the thick of things. And it's the head of Kevin that meets it. And Mehmeti currently demolishing any hope of a counter. There's Twine. Hayden Roberts, Armstrong always on the move. And moving with a little extra buoyancy. McCrory the target here. Alain does well.
It's excellent defending. Alain, great little ball over the top as well. McCrory's asking that question behind. Alain sees the danger, gets his body between ball and man, and allows himself it. But look at the run, look at the ball as well. Fantastic. Alain gets himself. It's excellent defending.
Well, Armstrong went to hunting there. Certainly Loser was under a bit of pressure in that moment. Alain. Kayembe. Bowler making a burst inside. Tanner able to pick up the pieces. And net by a meaty Pollock forehead.
Dan, that three of Twine, Randall and Mehmeti has worked so well, and they have a great understanding as well. When it does, the ball does go up, Mehmeti and Twine can go and pick up those balls, can go and influence the game, get a lot of joy from it.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Well, as ever, it's a busy old weekend for you as we head towards the international break. Blackburn against Derby, and John Eustace returning to an old haunt is our main feature tomorrow, but you have options. Hull Portsmouth on Sky Sports Plus, and Millwall Preston, which certainly has implications up towards the top. Dickey's throw, Twine. It is possibly difficult to get quite the grip you're after as a long thrower tonight.
Hey! Yes, sir.
Mehmeti seeks out the run of Armstrong, which is matched by Pollock. Good harrying by Petrie, who's a player with a need to be judicious. And picked up a yellow card. Mehmeti, Roberts, by hook or by crook, hoping to get his route through, plotted.
Yeah, he's done well there, Roberts. I think there was a little use of the hand, but Paul Tierney was blindsided to that.
It does feel, for the majority around Vicarage Road, that a balloon has had the air squeezed out of it. There's Roberts, Patrie's challenge, another Bristol City set piece on the way. Dickey hoping to get there. Solvik does get a fist to it. Back in there by Viner. Aaron Kunda can't get away. Tanner. Twine, Kayembe in the way. More defending for Watford to do.
Yeah, I think Erwin Kunda has a real opportunity there, just to kind of hit it long and open those legs up there. Take too many touches, you're going to get the ball taken from you, having to defend again.
Touch wearily. McCrory gets back to his feet. There's a private battle going on here between Kevin and Sinclair Armstrong.
Well, I don't mind that Kevin just trying to get in between Selvik and Armstrong, protecting his goalkeeper.
Formidable presence. Into the grateful grasp of Selvik. First half nearing its conclusion. And the firm conclusion at this precise second is that Bristol City will be very much the happier with the events that have transpired so far.
Yeah, I think Gerhard Struber will be delighted with the reaction of his team. Second best at the start after the goal. Done what they had to get a foothold back in the game.
There's a real sense of genuine control at the moment.
Yeah, I'll be delighted. The squad is stretched. You know, the amount of games they've played as well.
Roberts. Randall. Dickey to Tanner. Keremgard at least making the gesture to potentially make life difficult for the goalkeeper. Roberts won that. Little prod by Kayembe. Keremgard ends up on the floor. That's the head of Pollard. Iran Kunda. And the curtain falls. It seemed for a while that it would be very much all one way. Mark Bowler getting his first goal in Watford colours thanks to the perfect quarterback pass from Imran Louza. At that point they were very much in the ascendancy on home turf, but you cannot afford to give Scott Twine an opportunity from the dead ball. He made it come alive, although he wasn't perhaps alive as quickly as he should have been to it, and Bristol City very much in control ever since. Half-time here at Vicarage Road. Watford 1, Bristol City 1.
Second half about to get underway at Vicarage Road, all square. Watford 1, Bristol City 1. This Friday night in the Championship. And, you know, Watford with the early goal, actually, totally dominant until that Scott Twine free kick. How does Javi Gracia go about sort of wrestling back that control that they lost after that equaliser?
They've got to start the second half exactly as they started the first, dictate the play, get the ball to Louza, let him do his magic. I thought he's been a Rolls Royce of a midfielder in the first half, so he needs to be on the ball a lot more and then just cut out the silly errors, and I think that they'll be okay, because I don't think I've seen enough of Bristol City in that first half to warrant a draw. No, only from Scott Twine, really, the man in the picture. I think he's a real threat. Set pieces, open play, knows when to stand still, does he, picks up the ball in some areas, shoots on sight. But I agree, I think if Watford can get back anything like they started the game, they'll go on and win it. But he looked a little bit scared, a little bit frightened after the equaliser. You know, didn't want to get on the ball, there weren't enough of them being brave, passing the ball forward. But I still think they've got it. Surely Javi's got into them at half-time and they'll come out. They've got the better players, that's for sure.
Well, the Bristol City players out there waiting. You saw Gerhard Struber looking pretty relaxed in the away dugout. Being made to wait here by the Watford players, just hanging around in the tunnel. What's going on there, Ashley?
They're much. They're waiting for the captain. I think it's not. I think the days have gone of the they're making the team wait and those little tricks. But I think they was waiting for Loser to bring them out.
No point in him not coming out. Like, he's their hope. I mean, what a player that kid is. I mean, he's playing for his future, and I would suggest it possibly be away from Vicarage Road, because that's what they do. They outgrow the club, and he's going the right way about it, but he needs to pick it up this second half.
I'm sure the Watford fans are delighted to hear that as we head into the second half. Thank you for that, Tim.
They know what they are. They know what they are.
More gems from Tim Sherwood and from Ashley Williams to come in the second half. Who's going to head into the international break with 3 valuable points in their back pocket? Let's find out. Let's head back to Vicarage Road, to Chris Uelemo and to Daniel Mann.
Yes, thank you, Jules. Well, there was certainly some debate as to whether Mr. Loser was going to be on his way in the summer just gone, and I think that at one stage was certainly what he felt was going to happen, that maybe there wasn't quite the interest he hoped for, but he's certainly drawing plenty with his performances at the moment. And he's on a terrific scoring streak, not bettered since the days of Deeney here. So can he add what is becoming his customary goal-scoring moment in the second period? Well, we'll certainly have to recapture the early glories in this game, if that is going to happen. And he has ultimately won the battle there. He was having the shirt ripped off his back there. So inevitably a free kick when Watford didn't gain any significant advantage.
Yeah, it's a blatant one there from Mehmeti. You know, I think very fortunate not to see a yellow card, but good competitiveness there from Imran Louza. Such an important player. Needs to get on the ball more, influence the game.
Feels like he has to do it all himself by the look of it, Kevin. He sort of body language suggested I haven't got much on here. Pollock, Kiembe, Alain into trouble. Mehmeti. And referee not taken in by Mehmeti's. Here is Loser. Iran Kunda. Could have been and should have been better.
Yeah, it's an excellent break. You know, when you're looking at the numbers in Watford's favour there as well. Iran Kunda just takes his eye off the ball. That's what you want, on the front foot.
Someone who can very much rival Scott Twine from dead ball situations on the pitch in Iran Kunda. Well, here's a chance, maybe it escapes Keremgaard's clutches, but will be picked up by Petrie. And now Kayembe invited to shoot once again.
Just wrong decision there from Kayembe. Had a lot of options. Louza, Doumbia, just little give and go. Receive it's a fantastic ball. Mbola as well. Keremgaard's not going to get on the end of that. But when it comes to Kayembe, just options, decision making, a little bit more quality.
But in terms of intent, certainly more like what he would wish to see. Here's Armstrong, though, who was to get away from Pollock, and then felled right on the edge once again. The margins are fine.
Good, very. It's another very tight one there. Matty Pollock needs to do better. It's poor defending. Armstrong so strong, and as he tries to go between the two, Alain and Kayembe. think it is a free kick, albeit if it's not given. I think they're just standing their ground, trying to read the path of the ball.
They're not way off the position of the equalising goal, but different enough to rule out an attempt. You'd think. And it's Mayulu back into the danger zone. Randall to pick it up. And who'll win that? It's Kayembe. And taken in very well by Iran Kunda, but Roberts showing some real determination here.
He's done excellently, hasn't he? Hayden Roberts sees the danger. Iran Kunda, for me, takes too many small touches. He's got the full half to run to. Knock it long, open the legs up, ask that question, but Hayden Roberts seen the danger. Timely challenge as well, fantastic.
Yeah, and now he's on the opposite side of the pitch. Prepared perhaps for more. As Petri goes to ground. Iran Kunda, Kayembe. Bola. 4 in and around the penalty area. Petri making it 5. But getting beyond McCrory, who's certainly willing to give everything in the duel, proved to be a very difficult task.
Yeah, it's an excellent battle, isn't it? On that left-hand side, Bola. For me, McCrory's hands are all over him there.
Kerem Guard. Doumbia. Well, he felt he was fouled. Still able to move the ball on. But ultimately, consternation amongst the majority because it's Bristol City who end up with a free kick.
Yeah, they're definitely putting the challenges in. I thought Mehmeti just a little bit clever, a little pull in the arm. I thought it was just enough to put him off. But you say, I think that's enough there, but he's done it well, he's disguised it well. And then a late challenge here from Kayembe.
Kevin didn't come and get. And Armstrong has fed Twine. And he didn't perhaps get his geometry quite right there, and Watford able to sweep it up.
Well, I think I need more from Selvik there, just communicating. Thought Bola done everything right, was waiting for his goalkeeper to come and claim, and then he has to make that decision. The way to pass from Twine was excellent.
Typical filthy November night, which I suppose if you were to dream up a quintessential championship scene, this is the kind of thing you'd be talking about. And this is the thing they often talk about when Jeremy Petrie's involved, but is it a road to nowhere, or is he going to find something at the end of it? We had a couple to pick from, says the referee. And the card brandished in the direction of Mehmeti.
Yeah, he's trying to chase hands all over the shot. I think Paul Tierney's got that one spot on. But better from Petrie, direct. Trying to make things happen. In the end, the final contact wasn't enough in it for me, for Petrie to go down.
Well, he's nearing the mark for a suspension. Loser potential, but only potential in the end as Kerem Guard arrived.
That's an excellent ball in. Kerem Guard leads the flight of the ball very well. Just McCrory does enough to put him off.
McCrory really high up the pitch at the moment. Mehmeti up to Armstrong. Randall. Tanner into McCrory. Gallops away from a couple. Mehmeti. Roberts on hand, but Mehmeti trying a shot that needed a sharp save from a goalkeeper who felt he wasn't getting the protection he wanted.
Well, all came from McCrory, strong running as well. And then Mehmeti just niblets the ball. Fantastic shot as well. What a save. We have to give him credit there. Sees it late as well, reacts well. Good, strong left hand. Fantastic from Selvik. Better from Mehmeti.
Dickey's peeled into potential space. But Aaron Kunda here, there's a man who means business. Loser, very adroit touch for Kayembe. Aaron Kunda. It's a never-ending run, and Bola with a chance! Well, the Aaron Kunda run really deserved better at the end of it, didn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what he has. That's what he can do. I need to see it more. Fantastic quality, I've got to say as well. And then the composure just to pick ball out. Excellent quality there. Little cut, and I've got to say, and it's Kering guard that come off. I thought it was Vitek that got a hand to it there.
Emil Rees has been nursing a groin injury, and an unhappy Ross McCrory, the players replaced. Mayulu and McCrory off, and Hirakawa and Rees on. To say that's about it in outfield terms for experience on real experience on Bristol City's bench tonight. Dumbia, Kayembe, Elaine. Well, Watford's changes are imminent. Alain dancing forward. Bola. Kayembe. Dumbia. Again.
Just the discipline. Looking at Twine, Mehmeti, Randall, organised, communicating, shuffling across, making it very, very difficult.
Well, for a midfield that at first glance doesn't particularly strike you as one with excellent defensive qualities, it's certainly proving to be that at times. Here is Dumbia. He's gone a roaming and a roving, and he might be the target here. Indeed he is, and that almost was brilliant. Aaron Kunda trying to get away. A hopeful handball appeal against Tanner. Reese.
Yeah, I don't mind that. You know, there's an understanding. Armstrong and Reese linking up with each other as well, and takes it on the chest, and he's trying to get it out to Hayden Roberts as quickly as possible. There's too much on it there. I think that's the right idea.
Well, we were certainly discussing up here whether Ngakia may imminently have a role to play with Petri's yellow card. And that's a very understandable change indeed. There are also two players here that could certainly up the ante in an attacking sense in Kwadwo Ba and Otman Mama.
Yeah, it's all about risk and reward. Power, presence, players that are direct, can run with the ball, but they have that creative quality, that end product.
So Iran Kunda and Doumbia disappear. Mama there. It's extraordinary that I suppose there's so much anticipation and so much, I think hype's probably the wrong word, but over a player who's been barely seen. He's made only the one appearance so far. He went away to the very recent Under-20 World Cup with Morocco, but he's a dribbler. Off both sides and off both feet, so he's got plenty to offer. His first chance to show it here. And Ngakia. And Ngakia. That's a searching ball. Bola. Now he'll hit it, but it's Tanner in the way. Armstrong and Alain battling, and it breaks for Kayembe. It's a good steal that by Hirakawa, but matched by that of Kevin. Pollock.
Yeah, it's excellent quality there from Hirakawa, asking that question in behind. I need more from Reese. You know, you've got to give your defence, your midfield a little bit of respite. When it comes up to Armstrong, he's fighting, he's competing, he's making himself big and strong. I just need more. Look at the physicality, look at the attributes of Reese. He needs to be stronger for me. The ball needs to stick.
Well, he's involved again. Mehmeti. Randall. That's one that could well be picked off and is by Bola. Mama is flying down this near side. Is Kayembe? There is Mama. And now Twine raiding in the other direction. Can they get it right between him and Armstrong? They certainly can. And Selvik hurt in coming to Watford's aid.
I've got to say, two moments of quality either end of the pitch. The ball's right, Mama, the touch is poor, then it falls to Twine, he's driving forward. Got to do better there, Mama, but then Twine, when he gets on the ball, just watch the run as well. The weight of pass, everything about it was outstanding. The first touch from Armstrong, excellent, but then he's just got to pick his spot, hasn't he? Lift it over Selvik, he has the time. Probably too much time to think about it, but he has that quality. Just dink it, lift it over.
Never underestimate the value of a dink. Yeah, some nearly moments at both ends. Armstrong, he'll hope that that one's not running through his mind all night.
No, he's been a threat, hasn't he? Excellent outlet. Look at the break here. You know, Bola's there, driving forward, full half to run into. But then you look at Mama, breaking his neck to get into the right position. I don't mind the ball. The touch just gets away from him. He needs to do better with the quality that he has.
Sinclair Armstrong doing much right. It's been an excellent display from him, and he was certainly a catalyst for a change in Bristol City fortunes. Unable to beat Watford's goalkeeper, who in the act of denial has required treatment, and clearly indicating where the problem has arisen. It's a case of possession not meaning everything.
No, exactly. I think they have seen a lot of the ball. I think Bristol City have made it difficult for them. Compact, organised, hard to play through. And in that transition, I think Bristol City have used the ball well as well. A little bit more direct, but it's ending in an opportunity.
Barr had made an offer. Loser. The goalkeeper's coming anyway. Radek Vitek. He's not really had to show his worth since that sharp reaction in the first 45 when Kevin got an extra touch to the initial effort. Reese. He's got the foul. Loser.
Yeah, he's done well there, hasn't he? Loser's already committed to try and intercept the ball. Reese just rolls his man. That little contact.
Hayden Roberts moving into more central position. That built. It's free as bird over here. Twine will look towards Reese. We had the freedom of the place.
Yeah, well, you look at the partnership as well. You're looking at Armstrong, you're looking at Reese. I never seen that with Manolo when he was in. You know, when one goes, one steps away, one goes in behind. Armstrong comes to feet there, creates that space, just separates the centre-backs for Reese to have that opportunity in the time, albeit the ball was probably a little bit high.
Well, Watford can't allow that to happen again. They have been beaten here this season by a team led by one of their many recent former managers, Valerian Ismail of Blackburn. Still got something as it stands, and Kwadwo Barr has secured a corner to help their case in trying to acquire more.
Yeah, good quality from Bola. Asking that question, stretching the pitch. I think Bola can actually drive as well, just drive, commit the defender. Come inside.
It's gone beyond Elaine. Mama! And Vitek down to the bouncing ball.
Well, he's watching it all the way, Mama. Just a connection again. I think it takes a slight contact as well. Another reaction save there from Vitek.
Did it come off Kevin again?
It did.
Familiar tune. Vitek getting it out of harm's way. Another chance for Watford to deliver.
Yeah, I don't mind that ball at all. Right on top of Vitek. Strong, dominant, good decision as well to come and punch.
He might be tested again. Indeed he is. Ngakia doing well. He's involved again. Kerimgard gets his head to it. And steered away by Vitek once again. Pressure mounting. Can Watford take advantage of this spell? Loser loses, ultimately. Doesn't happen often, that. Channel. Well, the atmosphere at a greater height has been flat as a pancake at times. Barr showing some exuberance and energy. And Vitek's a busy man, Loser coming in. And Randall did what he had to do. And likewise Pollock. And then Kevin ends up on the ground, Armstrong having an influence. And a genuine edge about the last few minutes. And a genuine sign there of the considerable effort that Sinclair Armstrong has put in.
Yeah, as they come together there, and Kevin's trying to just kind of clear him there. Armstrong legs up. Got the urgency. This is great quality. Barr, so strong, isn't he? All about end product. Gets the shot away. Vitek, excellent save. And then it's Randall. For me, sees the danger. Makes sure he's brave. But Barr does everything right. Ask that question of Vitek.
Well, it's just wittering on about how he hadn't had to show his worth, and then he's been the busiest bloke in the place. But up to all the challenges that have been thrown his way. Gentle encouragement from the referee there to get on with it. Ngakia. Kayembe. Kayembe. Kerimgard. Quite as fleet of foot as some of his colleagues have proved, in that instance at least. Armstrong couldn't get a hold of it. Loser just with almost a casual air moving it on. Randall. Are able to nip in. There's Armstrong, whose remaining time with us will be short. Seeking out Rees, but finding the head of Alain. Now Loser. Barr. Loser. Kerimgard and Mama wait. Mama can't quite grow enough.
Again, for me, I need more from Kerimgard. You know, when Loser gets into that position, very much, I need more movement. Either pull yourself away so you can see everything and come and attack it. Mama Caps tries to keep that one alive. I don't think it's a bad ball there from Imran Loser.
Leo Pikova getting ready to replace that man who is showing the signs of his exertions. As Pat Mountain gives Pikova the final briefing. Set plays and all that. Loser. Kevin. Mama. On he goes. showing that dribbling skill. Offside against Kevin.
Yeah, and I think Mama's having a proper go at him as well. Good quality, close control. I wasn't sure if Kevin had found himself onside there. I thought it was a tight one as well, but this is what you want from Mama. Direct. Yes, just let it go. He's got success here. Mama wanted the ball at the other end.
So the trailed change is now going to happen.
Yeah, he's done well tonight. Selfless job, running in behind. That physicality, a great outlet.
Pikova will make his entrance. Talented young striker, and the last time he faced a Watford side, he was scoring a vital goal in the final of the Under-18 Championship last season. And he's got a message for Emil Rees. One look and destroyed. Well, our Premier League offerings. Super Sunday is super duper this particular weekend, with 4 options at 2 o'clock. Brentford, Newcastle, Forest, Leeds. We've also got Villa against Bournemouth, and one that always exercises plentiful passion, Crystal Palace against Brighton. And the global gaze will be on the Etihad for Manchester City against Liverpool. Spin by Twine. Loser. Kerem. Barr. And Barr will go for it. Well, Vitek, the saves, the vital contributions he's making mounting up. Mehmeti. Pikova. Well, it wasn't especially subtle in the battle of the young bucks. Mama on Pikova.
Bad does everything right. Driving in. Just wants to open up and try and find that back corner. Straight at Vitek. Too much for him to keep hold of it. Does his job.
The pace of the shot shown by the distance it travelled off Vitek's hands. Well, forewarned, are they forearmed? Scott Twine over a free kick again. Something different. And Bola dealing with that as he sought out Hirakawa.
I've seen him take that on from there as well. Twine has that quality.
100%. But a set piece of a different nature now. Dickey's always seems to get free at these. Hirakawa on for Mehmeti. And it was Viner arriving, and now Dickey. Now Barr will worry Roberts. Keep him honest.
Yeah, he's done very well there, Roberts. Good composure, Vitek as well.
Bowler now towards Mama. Naby wasn't having it, but we had to stop the game here because Selvik is in difficulty. And if this is the end for him, it's not the first time he's been taken off during the course of the season. And still inconvenienced by the problem he suffered in the wake of Sinclair Armstrong's chance. And Nathan Baxter, on the eve of his 27th birthday, had to come on at Millwall a few short weeks ago. Another occasion when Selvik was beaten by a free kick that many felt he should have done better with.
Yeah, it's one of them, you know, as a goalkeeper, he's obviously strained something there under the arm. He's tried to go on with it.
On that occasion, Selvik collided with the goalpost in conceding that goal from the free kick at Millwall. This time he's been hurt in a more successful bit of goalkeeping business. Well, Baxter's ready. But his moment in the spotlight could yet be brief. Selvik's still there. Baxter's headed up the tunnel now. Perhaps that sensible, dressed up and nowhere to go. Well, seems all right. Here's Kayembe. Rivaldo Semedo and Thomas Ince are about to take to the stage for Watford. It's a right tangle between Pikova and Kevin, with the former ending up on the floor, well away from the ball. Kevin just introducing himself to the young man. Roberts. Oh, Gakia. Barr keeping it in. Keeping it moving.
He's right there. I've got to say, Musa, Kerringard has to be alive to that. You've got to know your players. You train with them every day. The quality that's coming. Not one round the corner.
In a way, that's kind of summed it up for Kerringard, whose night is going to come to a conclusion in the 84th minute. And there's a definite change of tack in the introduction of Thomas Ince. And he's got a message to pass on, and that message has been mislaid by Mark Bowler. Oh, you love it when a plan comes together. Well, I hope it's not too wet to read. Mama up against Hirakawa. Loser. Ince. That could have been quite the entrance. Hirakawa. Towards Vivaldo Semedo. It's away by Roberts. He's got through quite a bit of work. That's Ngakia, who's wants a free kick and has stayed down. Ngakia. Well, the game there to be won by somebody. Drifting off Roberts. Not able to get the better of Viner. Mehmeti. Rees, loose, Ince, Swift. In two senses, Swift to win it, Swift to give it away. This is Kayembe. Mama. He's holding on. Not ultimately. Hirakawa was ultimately sufficiently determined to make it his.
Yeah, he's done very well there.
It's a night of notes. And Ollie Thomas, who's made a few cameo appearances of late, is going to make another. And it was just a sense the last time I saw him go after it that Hayden Roberts was not moving as well as he might. And it is the end of his night.
Yeah, he's been excellent. Another player obviously kind of dealing with his own little issue as well, carrying an injury, wanted to play.
Talked about it being who's left, but by no means are who's left all 100%, or in some cases particularly close to it. The action has been chiefly at one end and dealt with chiefly by Bristol City's goalkeeper. Twine pointing the way. Up towards Emil Rees. Hop, skip and a jump. Pollock can only head it back to him. Hirakawa. Sprightly stuff. Twine. Tanner. Ollie Thomas. Ultimately will be penalised. Mehmeti filling the void at wing back. Here's Ince, took it on, but again Vitek up to the challenge.
What's excellent there, Tom Ince gambling in behind, and then knows the connections, has to be right. Vitek, good save in the end, comfortable one.
That's given away though by Viner. Mama. It's a corner, some were claiming there should be more. But Watford will have to be satisfied with that as we go into the 90th minute.
So direct from Mama, that's what you want. Asking that question. This one here, knows exactly where the goal is. connections. It takes a little deflection again. You take great reaction, to be fair.
He's been set some challenges tonight. The kind of thing you can in any way really anticipate. Away by Randall. More for Bristol City to withstand. No sense they've been teetering or tottering, though, it must be said. Thomas. Pollock in with the type of snarl that runs in the family. Barr. And that is a compliment. And Ngakia. Bola. Loser. Reese trying to get a challenge of note in. Loser. This pass was not as certain as it might be, but it's still moving here for Watford. Thomas Ince. Loser. Finer in the way. And Ollie Thomas. And can they chart a route into dangerous territory themselves here, Bristol City? And Ngakia has the measure of Reese. Yeah,
it's excellent defending as well. Just gets himself in between ball and body there, and just like you say, composure. Fantastic from Ngakia. I need more from Kevin as well. Just be stronger. Loser's trying to bounce it off you there. Great defending from Viner to get his body across the front.
They seek out Mama again. Up against Mehmeti. And he has the beatings of him. And it stayed in play. Mama in the wide awake club. Collision with the corner flag. Keben. Doesn't beat the head of Viner. Kayembe. Bola. Thomas with the kind of muck and nettle stuff that's so vital for Bristol City now. This would be an excellent result in the circumstances. Well, it would be an excellent result, full stop, given Watford's home record. Beyond Loser, header Mehmeti. Reese more up than away. Back in by Kevin. You would expect Watford to be in the ascendancy in most categories here at home. If you told Gerhard Struby you'd get a point here in these circumstances against a team with the third best record on their own patch so far this season, you would suggest that might be deemed satisfactory at the very least.
Yeah, definitely. They would have taken that. I think it's all about stopping the rut, isn't it? The back of two defeats.
Yeah. Stopping Mama by foul means was Mehmeti. And already on a yellow card, that was not the wisest course.
Silly challenge. Yeah, on a yellow card as well. Very lucky, very fortunate.
Loser floats it. Ince. And again. Good telling touch by Pikova. Hirakawa. This is really promising. Hirakawa. And suddenly all the momentum is lost when it seemed to be so threatening, but that may change. It's Thomas. And there's Thomas as well, Thomas Ince. Oh. And Thomas The Ollie variety not giving it up at all.
Well, here, 3v2 in the favour of Bristol City there. He's got to be in front of Reece, hasn't it? Great quality. Just that pass, just slowed it all down.
That's an if only. Hirakawa. Mama threatened to run Watford into trouble. Mehmeti. Well, could it be that they've got a sting at the end at the home of the Hornets? It's Mehmeti. The spoil shared, and for Gerhard Struber, given the various trials he's faced in putting a team together and a squad together, that will feel like a very welcome reward. Stopping the run of defeats 2 in a row prior to tonight, but it looked like they were very much set for another when Mark Bowler opened his Watford account, the beneficiary of a brilliant long pass by Imran Louza, and his touch and finish exemplary, it must be said. Scott Twine makes the dead ball come alive, and he did for the equaliser, although Egil Selvik will be ruining his part in it and will possibly feel he should have prevented it. Radek Vitek did plenty of that in the second half. He was a very, very busy man at one stage, and his contribution notable on a night when Bristol City battled to an excellent point. The final score here at Vicarage Road, Watford 1, Bristol City 1.
Daniel, Chris, many thanks indeed. Yes, in the face of considerable adversity with the injury list into double digits and 2 defeats already this week, a battling point for Bristol City. But for that man there, Javi Gracia, back at his old club, certainly had an encouraging start, but his team unable to deliver a 5th successive home win. So they shake hands on a point on this Friday night in the Championship. And a good point away from home for Bristol City. Not quite enough to move them back into the top 6. They stay 7th on goal difference. Watford climb 1 place up to 11th. 3 points off the top 6 after successive 1-1 draws, having laid in both of them. And that is just the starter, because we have 11 more games in the Championship for you tomorrow, including 3 live on Sky Sports at lunchtime, with Blackburn against informed Derby, Hull hosting Portsmouth, and 2 of the surprise packages, I think it's fair to say so far, Millwall and Preston going head-to-head at the Den. They're all live on Sky. And then at 3, Middlesbrough face Birmingham, with speculation rife over Rob Edwards' future and interest from Wolves. Norwich, winless since August, play Leicester. Manchester Southampton face Sheffield Wednesday, and there's also a meeting of the top 2, Stoke City against Coventry City. In fact, so much live sports coming your either side could do on that Friday night battle at Vicarage Road. They take a point apiece, Watford and Bristol City. The Hornets taking an early lead, but City with that inspired free kick from Scott Twine earning a share of the points. Tim Sherwood and Ashley Williams will have their say shortly, and of course the best of the reaction for Vicarage Road to come as well.